Chapter 3342. Cut the crap. Tell me. Lu Yen pinched the subordinate's ear, annoyed by his stuttering. Hey, no, boss. My ear is going to fall off. Then why aren't you telling me? See for yourself. The subordinate handed over his tactical communications watch and opened Xiao Fei's message. Lu Yen let go of his ear and glanced at it. Then she was speechless. Xiao Fei said, Lu Yen, you're good. Wait for me. Lu Yen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was like when you were in school and someone threatened you and told you to wait for me after school. It was so childish. But she could tell that Xiao Fei was jealous. If it weren't for the plan they had made previously, Xiao Fei would probably be in the mood to interrogate her. Lu Yen couldn't help but laugh. Boss, young Master Xiao, is he threatening you? Yeah. That's exactly what I want. Lu Yan's subordinates were also confused. Only Xiao Fei and Lu Yen knew about the stealth plan. His subordinates all thought that the two of them had turned against each other after breaking up. He couldn't help but worry for his boss. Go back. Don't talk to me. I want to be an ordinary person. Boss, but you didn't seem to be an ordinary person today. The subordinates weren't fools. They were well aware of their boss's whereabouts and what he had done the whole day. That silly boy who dared to flirt with boss must have had 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Not only did he drink until his stomach bled, but he also lost 10 million yuan. It was a disaster. Cut the crap and get the hell out of here. Just treat these few days as a vacation. Eat and drink well, pick up girls when you need to, gamble when you need to. If you really have nothing to do, just go to the scenic spots and take pictures to post on your WeChat moments. The subordinates, I'm leaving. Boss will give you a ride. It's not safe. After the taxi incident, the subordinates were worried about their boss taking a taxi. It's fine. I'll kill every one of these shrimp soldiers and crab generals I see. Then, Lu Yen waved her hand and hailed another taxi. She didn't believe that those people would have the perseverance to monopolize all the taxis in the city. Boss is so capricious. He's like a child who hasn't grown up yet. One of his subordinates sighed. It's been like this all these years. We have to get used to it. But I'm really worried about her. She almost gave me a heart attack. I've been with her all these years. If something happens to her, where should we go? They sighed. I think if we have time, we should help the boss kill that bitch AI me. I've been in the boss's army for so many years, and AI me is a traitor. No, it should be said that she's the first traitor who didn't get killed by the boss. Someone said, I think the reason why AI me didn't die wasn't because of old times, but because of young Master Qiao. Who knows? Anyway, we don't understand the matters of the masters. Let's just follow the boss. His subordinates watched the taxi drive away. In the end, they didn't dare to follow it and return to the hotel. Lu Yen had fun the whole day. When she got home, it was already 12:30 a.m. The people at South Hill Manor had all gone to bed. She quietly jumped into the room through the window and saw her sister reading a book on the bed with the lamp on. Why didn't you come in through the door? What's wrong with you? Huamin looked at Lu Yen amused. Chapter 3343. Sis, you're still awake? Lu Yen lowered her voice and tiptoed to the bedside. How could I sleep when you didn't come back? I thought you were with him, but I didn't expect you to dump him and go crazy on your own. You're worried about me? No. I'm worried about the people who ran into you, Huamin said without hesitation. Huamin had been worried about Lu Yen, but he learned from Mr. Qin that Lu Yen hadn't been bullied in the past few years. Especially when faced with a pervert like Ian, he could play cat and mouse for several years. So, he was worried about the people who were bullied by Lu Yen. Sis, why are you making fun of me? Su Yu was busy and didn't go. And stayed with you the whole day, right? Yeah. Lu Yen nodded obediently. Then where did you go after you sent Yen away? Huamin asked. Sis, what are you doing? I'm not interrogating a criminal. Tell me. I went to a nightclub to drink, Xianxia Pearl. What? You went to that place? Yeah. I drank 10 glasses of wine and made 10 million yuan, Lu Yen said happily. You drank 10 glasses of wine. Do you know that drinking is bad for your liver? Huamian began to nag. perhaps because she was a doctor. It's okay. I took some gum and got rid of the alcohol. You're talented, but you don't need to do anything serious. You only know how to think about these things. We have two medical geniuses in our family, you and Dad. No, Dad is a chemist like me. He's a bomb genius. You and Mom are medical geniuses, Lu Yen said. Huamin sighed slightly. You came back so late. Are you hungry? Do you want a midnight snack? I'm not hungry at all. Sis, you're pregnant. Go to bed early. I'm going to take a shower. Then, Lu Yen walked to the wardrobe, changed into a nightgown, and went into the bathroom. One thing Huamin didn't mention was that he smelled a strong scent of blood on Lu Yen. She really wanted to ask her if she had killed anyone. However, after thinking about it, Qin Chu was right. Xiao Yan was born to walk this path. Perhaps it was in her nature to kill people, just like how he saved people. Therefore, when the two sisters discussed such a heavy topic, they might not be able to come to any conclusion. Instead, it would make both of them unhappy. Huamin didn't say anything. But Yen was still so young. He couldn't live the rest of his life in such a cruel and bloody way. Huamin was already thinking about how to change her lifestyle so that she could live like an ordinary girl in her 20s. Get married, have children, find an ordinary job, and live the rest of your life. After bathing, the two sisters lay on the bed. Lu Yen took her sister's hand from under the blanket and suddenly felt warm in her heart. Sis, when I was young, I always thought that it would be great if I had an older sister. At that time, Dad hadn't told me about you yet. Dad and I were constantly being hunted down, and we always had to change places in less than a week. At that time, I felt very insecure, and I always longed for the feeling of home, and I always missed my family. Now, I can finally lie next to you, hold your hand, and tell you what's in my heart. This feeling is great. Me too. Seeing you by my side makes me feel at ease. Yen, do you have any dreams? Dreams? For now, I think it's to get rid of Ian, that stalker. What about in the future? Huamin asked. In the future, I haven't thought about it. To be honest, sis, I don't even know if I have a future. Maybe one day I will. Before Lu Yen could finish, Huamin interrupted her. He said, Yen, don't do these things anymore. Leave that industry and be a chemistry teacher, okay? Lu Yen was slightly surprised. Chapter 3344. Chemistry teacher? You have a great idea. Hearing her sister's words, Lu Yen was stunned. She was good at chemistry and couldn't be more familiar with all kinds of chemical elements. What would explode when mixed with something, and what would be poisonous when mixed with something? She knew them like the back of her hand. But the idea of letting Lu Yen be a chemistry teacher only showed how creative Huamian was. Am I wrong? Yes, you're absolutely right. Lu Yen couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? I'm serious. I'll seriously consider your suggestion. Yen, let me tell you. Many people don't work to make a living. Think about it, there are so many rich people in the world. Why do they work? It's to prove their worth. You're right. For example, you and my brother-in-law. You have so much money that you can't spend it all, but you still work all day because you have something to do. You can't just eat and wait for death because you have too much money, Lu Yen added. Yes, you're right. But I didn't become a doctor to pass time. I became a doctor because of my childhood dream, Huamin explained. But sis, you have to know that not everyone is as lucky as you. You have my brother-in-law's love and care. He treats your dream as his dream and works hard to realize it. But most people can't realize their dreams even if they work hard for their whole lives. Maybe. But Yen, the people you said can't realize their dreams are those who don't have the ability to realize it. But I think you're so strong that you won't be controlled by fate. Sis, do you believe me? Over the years, I've gotten used to this industry, just like you're used to being a doctor. Maybe at first, I fought back because I wanted to run for my life and not get killed. But gradually, it became a habit for me. So, if you suddenly ask me to be a chemistry teacher, I don't think I can do it. It has nothing to do with money. It's just a peaceful life for me. For me, It's okay for 1 or 2 days, but for a long time, I'll go crazy. Maybe there's something in my blood that makes me different from you. Hearing Lu Yan's words, Huamin felt sad. Lu Yan was right. Everyone had their own opinions and right to make decisions. Huamin thought he was doing what was best for his sister, but Lu Yan didn't think so. Perhaps for Lu Yan, being a mercenary, killing people, and accepting missions had already seeped into her heart. This way of life had already become one of her favorite ways of life. If we keep talking like this, I think we'll end up arguing. Huamin laughed. How could that be? I only see you once a year. I won't fight with you. At most, I won't listen to what you say. Lu Yan stuck out her tongue playfully. All right, go to sleep. Sis, I heard Pudding is speculating in the stock market. She even started her own company. Yeah, I can't control her anymore. Huamin thought of his eldest daughter and didn't know if he was happy or sad. He was happy because Pudding was much more mature, smarter, and calmer than other kids her age. But he was sad because he felt Pudding wasn't doing what she should do at her age. He wasn't sure if he was right or wrong. I've transferred the money I earned today to her company, Lu Yan said calmly as if she had just bought a piece of clothing for Huamian. What? You transferred 10 million yuan to her? Huamin frowned slightly. Chapter 33:45. Yeah. Are you crazy? She's so young. Why did you give her so much money? Huamin found it hard to accept that Pudding was given 10 million yuan. No matter how rich Lu Yan was, she couldn't give it away so casually. I think Pudding has a good head for business and likes to play with capital. As her aunt, I'll support her. That's too much. Sis, I'm very rich. I know. You risked your life to get your money. You can't squander it like this. It's not squandering if I give it to my niece. You didn't see me lose hundreds of millions in the casino in Singapore. You lost hundreds of millions. Huamin felt like he would have a heart attack if he continued talking with Lu Yan. Probably because he grew up in an ordinary family, Huamin still couldn't get used to the astronomical amount of money involved in transactions. But Qin Chu, Lu Yan, and Su Yu were different. They seemed to see money as nothing more than numbers. Let's go to sleep. I'm so sleepy. Afraid that her sister would continue nagging her, Lu Yan pretended to close her eyes. Finally, seeing Lu Yan close her eyes, Huamin shook his head helplessly and got up to pull up the quilt. He tucked Lu Yan in. The next morning, since it was Saturday, they didn't have to go to school. The twins got up early for breakfast and were in a good mood. Auntie, can you take us out to have fun today? Little Bean looked at Lu Yan with a smile. How do you want to have fun? Lu Yan couldn't help but laugh. Just do whatever you want. Don't control yourself, huh? Lu Yan finally laughed out loud. Pudding, on the other hand, was eating her breakfast calmly. Pudding, how's the company? Lu Yan pretended to ask. Not bad. Affected by the stock market crash in the U.S., the domestic stock market isn't very stable. Oh, I see. It seems my gift to you is timely. It can help you stabilize the market. Present? Pudding raised her head and looked at her aunt in confusion. Yeah, gift. What gift? Pudding was puzzled. You'll know soon enough. Lu Yan glanced at her watch. It would be after 8:30 p.m. before the bank opened for business. Honey, what gift? Why don't I have one? Little Bean quickly asked. Hi, you have some too. Isn't your sister's money yours? Anyway, you're just a freeloader. You don't have to work, just sit and eat. How is that the same? My sister is someone who can get angry at any time. Little Bean obviously didn't believe Pudding. It's fine. You still have your mommy and daddy. They will also betray me. As long as I eat desserts, they will collectively attack me. You still have grandpa and auntie? Lu Yan asked. So, auntie, where's my present? Ha, you're so mischievous. You only remember your present. Lu Yan patted Little Bean's head with a smile. Little Bean, don't ask auntie for gifts, Huamin scolded. But mommy, my sister has one, but I don't. I gave your sister stocks. Don't you know that? Lu Yan fooled her. But I can ask for cash. I have a private account. I'll send you my bank account number. Then, Little Bean sent her bank account number to Lu Yen on WeChat. Lu Yen rarely used WeChat. If it weren't for the fact that she wanted to check her sisters and the twins' WeChat moments, she wouldn't use it at all. She always felt that her social media account wasn't very safe and was afraid that her whereabouts would be exposed. Little kid, Auntie will give you cash. Then, Lu Yen turned on her watch and began to use it. Yen, how can you take a kid's words seriously? Huamin saw that Lu Yen was serious and immediately stopped her. Chapter 3346. I don't trust other kids, but for my nieces, I can give them anything. Lu Yen tapped on the keyboard and transferred a string of numbers to them. Okay, you'll receive it when the bank opens. It's exactly the same this time. Don't say that I'm biased. Auntie, I love you. I'll take care of you when you're old. Little Bean said seriously. Thank you, Miss Chin Mumu. Lu Yen laughed wildly. Auntie, don't listen to the flatterer. She might not even take care of my parents. How can she take care of you? Qin Zhao Zhao, don't try to stir up trouble. Don't destroy the strong relationship between me and Auntie just because you're jealous. That's immoral. What did I teach you in the history class yesterday? You must be kind and loving. Do you understand? Whoa, our Little Bean is acting like an old teacher. Huamin chuckled. Okay, next topic. Auntie, where do you want to take us today? We're on vacation. Where do you want to go? I want to go to the water world. Let's go play in the water, okay? Okay, I'll book the whole place, Lu Yen said casually. No, please don't. It's boring to book the whole place. It's more fun with more people, Little Bean added. You have a lot of demands. You're a drama queen. Pudding said. You're more qualified than me to be a drama queen, okay? The two sisters started to quarrel. Huamin was used to it and ate his breakfast calmly. Qin Chu ate first and then drove to work. Mommy, do you want to come with us? I have work today. I have a meeting in the morning. You can take the day off. It's fine, you guys go. I can't do anything with my current condition. I can only help you guys carry your swimming rings. Huamian rubbed her round belly. She felt that her appetite had been particularly good recently. She would gain weight no matter what she ate. Her second child, who was less than 4 months old, had also begun to develop rapidly. Her belly was already very obvious. You're right. Mommy's the most important person in our family right now. Okay, let's go. Little Bean said happily and took a big gulp of milk. Today is Saturday. Wuyuan and the others are also on holiday. Do you want to ask them out? Huamin teased his daughter. Sure. Sis, do you want to ask Wei Yunchu out? Little Bean looked back at her sister. I'm fine with anything. Pudding blushed embarrassed. Damn it. You want to bring your family? No. If you two bring your family, I'll be the only one left. I don't want to be the third wheel, Lu Yen objected firmly. Haha. Auntie, you're so funny. Little Bean couldn't stop laughing. After the meal, Huamin left in an RV under the escort of his bodyguards. Lu Yen drove an orange Land Rover from Qin Chu's garage to the water world with the twins. At Southside Recuperation Center, Huamin was in a meeting the whole morning. At noon, he was about to go to the cafeteria when he received a call from Gao Ran. Director Gao, what's your order? Mian, do you want to come to the prison? Gao Ran's tone was heavy. What's wrong? Hua Xichen. Ever since he was discharged from the hospital, he's been depressed and hasn't eaten much. I think he won't be able to hold on much longer. Huamian remained silent after hearing this. Gao Ran was never an alarmist. If he said so, then Hua Xichen must be in a very bad condition. Chapter 3347. I'll go check on him in a bit. Okay, I'll go with you. If anything happens to you, I won't be able to explain it to Qin Chu, Gao Ran added. Does my husband know about this? No, I didn't tell him. I don't think he wants you to see Hua Xichen. Okay, then don't tell him. Huamin had always been worried about the grudge between Qin Chu and Hua Xichen. After all, they were too entangled. Although Hua Xichen was a man who committed all kinds of crimes and deserved to be shot 10,000 times, Huamin still felt that if he died, he would feel very conflicted. During lunch break, Huamin changed into casual clothes and went out. "Madam, where are you going?" "We'll go with you." "No, Gao Ran is coming to pick me up. We're going to do some personal things." Qin Chu's bodyguards all knew Gao Ran. Seeing Gao Ran drive a black Jaguar to pick them up, they were relieved and didn't insist on following. After Gao Ran picked up Huamin, the two of them headed towards the prison. "When did he start acting like this?" Huamin asked. "He's been like this ever since he was discharged from the hospital." "How's his hearing?" "I'm not sure, because he basically doesn't communicate with people anymore." "Okay, I got it." Huamin sighed deeply. "Mian, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. I didn't want you to think too much. Tell me, we've been friends for so many years. You, me, Mr. Qin, and Lingling were the first to know each other. We've been friends for more than 10 years. What's there to hide? I think it's time for you and Hu Xiqian to put an end to it. It's not a good idea to drag things out like this. I think Hu Xiqian is too sick to be saved. There's no redemption for him. I know, but the problem is that my husband seems to want to use him to lure out another force and then kill them all in one fell swoop. So he can't die yet. I think this method is a bit risky. Hu Xiqian has tortured us for so many years. Once the force behind him is exposed, I'm afraid we won't be able to handle it. I'm sure Mr. Qin has thought this through more thoroughly than we have. Since he's already made this decision, I'm sure he has his own plans." Obviously, Gao Ran didn't agree with Qin Chu's risky method. However, Huamian supported Qin Chu unconditionally, even if it meant risking her life. Then, the two of them stopped thinking about this problem and arrived at the prison. Gao Ran greeted the prison guard and led Huamin to the innermost cell. Hu Xiqian was locked up here alone. He didn't interact with any other prisoners, except for the prison guard who brought him food. "Don't get close to him when you go in," Gao Ran reminded him again. Huamin nodded and entered the meeting room with mixed feelings. This was a small enclosed space. There were no windows and there were cameras everywhere. When Hu Xiqian was brought in, his hands and feet were shackled with heavy iron chains. Afraid that he would hurt Huamin, he was tied to a chair and couldn't move at all. When Huamian walked in, he looked up with a smile on his face. "Mian, you're here to see me again. I heard you've been on a hunger strike and you're not in a good mood. What's wrong? Do you want to die?" Huamin asked straightforwardly. "Mian, if you think I've treated you well all these years, please kill me quickly," Hu Xiqian said with a smile. However, Huamin felt terrible when he heard this. Chapter 3348. If you want to die, why don't you bang your head against the wall? Huamin asked calmly. "Because I want to die in your hands." Hu Xiqian smiled warmly, as if he didn't think his words were cruel at all. "You don't just want to die in my hands. You want to make me feel guilty and then mentally torture me. You want to come between me and Qin Chu, even if it's a cruel memory, right?" Upon hearing this, Hu Xiqian looked up at Huamin in surprise. "Hu Xiqian, haven't you been tired after all these years?" "Mian." Every time he called Mian's name, his tone was extremely gentle. "If you're not tired, then let me tell you, I'm very tired. I don't care what you've been through in the past or how you feel about me. But let me tell you, whether it was in the past or now, you, Hu Xiqian, and I, Huamin, have never had anything to do with me. Even if you thought you loved me for all these years, I can't accept the way you did it. You brought me and my family nothing but deep pain. Now, it's all in the past, but you still won't stop. If you really want to die, then just bang your head against the wall. No one can stop you. Who are you trying to impress by making yourself look so pitiful? Did you purposely make me come here? You knew I'd come to see you after hearing the news, didn't you?" "Mian, Shut up, I'm not done yet. Hu Xiqian, you keep saying that Qin Chu and Suyu are scheming men who used all kinds of tricks on me. Do you think only your love is pure and flawless? Don't you feel like you're slapping yourself in the face by doing this? What's the point of your acting? You know I won't kill you, but you're saying these things on purpose to make me feel bad, right? In other words, even if I really did kill you, I'd feel guilty for the rest of my life, right? So, how can your schemes be considered as pure and flawless love? All these years, no matter what Chu has experienced, he has never schemed against me like this. You say that you are not scheming, but you have deliberately schemed to leave a deep wound in my heart? How do you explain this? Mian, so that's how you see me? Huasiqian lowered his head, seemingly touched by Huamin's words. What do you think? Would I still treat you as a living Buddha? Huamin was slightly agitated. Outside the interrogation room. Director Gao, should we stop their conversation? I think Lady Qin seems a little agitated. Let's wait and see. Gao Ran was also worried about Huamin's condition. After all, she was pregnant. If something happened to the baby because of her agitation, Qin Chu would never forgive him. However, on second thought, Huamin wasn't an ordinary woman. She shouldn't be so fragile, so he decided to observe her for a while longer. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not as noble as I claim to be. My love is selfish. But so what? You say I hurt you, but didn't Qin Chu hurt you? He disappeared for 7 years, and when he came back, he forced you to marry him. Have you forgotten? You say I'm scheming, but what about Suyu? He took advantage of the years when Qin Chu was abroad to stay by your side and play the role of a good father. Didn't he want you? If we're all the same, why do you only hate me? But Huasiqian was also agitated. His hands trembled, and the chains on his wrists rattled. In the quiet interrogation room, the sound was particularly ear-piercing. Chapter 3349. You still don't understand? Huamin looked at him with disappointment. Understand what? No matter what they did, it was for my own good. You, on the other hand, think you're doing it for my own good, but in reality, everything you've done has brought me great harm, but I didn't want it to happen. All these years, I've been working hard. I even bought that island. Don't mention the island to me, Huasiqian. I'm not your pet, and I won't be locked up by you for the rest of my life. You said that you love me because I'm pure and kind. That's because your nature is too evil. You've done a lot of heartless things, so you want to find redemption from me. Ask your conscience, do you really love me? Or, have you always loved yourself? After hearing this, Huasiqian's mind went blank. Huamin's words made him fall into endless confusion. Yes, even he didn't know why he did what he did. All these years, he thought that the only person he loved was Huamin, and that he was willing to destroy the world for him. However, the truth was that even he didn't dare to find out what his true thoughts were. Huasiqian, if you love me, you should know that my biggest dream all these years was to become a doctor and save people. But you've been hurting people all this time. Even if Hu Zhenghai deserved to die, he shouldn't have died at your hands. Even if he wasn't your biological father, at least you grew up in the Hua family. The person who gave you bad memories was Jiang Hong. But you hate the entire Hua family. Because of you, the Hua family went from a prestigious family to a laughingstock. Because of you, the only bloodline of the Hua family, Hua Yanyan, has been driven crazy by you. They deserved it. Huasiqian gritted his teeth and said hatefully. Fine, even if they deserved it, what about Song Yisher? No matter how bad she was, she shouldn't have been dismembered by you. You even framed Qin Chu. And Wang Xianxia, she was pregnant with your child, yet you killed her. Huasiqian, even a vicious tiger won't eat its own cubs. Look at you, what have you done? You're always using your bad experiences as an excuse. But in this world, who's ever lived a smooth life? Since I was young, I've experienced so many things. Do I have to go on a killing spree to vent the grievances in my heart? What you've done is what you've always wanted to do. It wasn't caused by anything, so stop looking for excuses. Whether it's Jack or you two have one thing in common. There's a demon living in your hearts. It's eating away at your heart bit by bit. The kind young man from many years ago has disappeared without a trace. That's right. All these years, I've been living such a life that I don't even understand myself anymore. After hearing Huamin's words, Huasiqian suddenly felt sorry for himself. He had lived for more than 30 years and always thought his life goals were clear enough. But now, he was completely confused. You should know why Qin Chu is still keeping you alive. Qin Chu wants to fight with Ian and get rid of him, but I don't think he has the ability to do that. Ian isn't as easy to deal with as I am. I advise him to know his limits. He doesn't want to drag you and the twins down with him, Huasiqian said calmly. But even if we don't go after him, he won't let us go, right? Huamin asked calmly. Mia, a little different today. Huasiqian carefully looked at Huamin's face and found her unusually calm today. Chapter 3350. So what do you think I should be like? Huasiqian couldn't say it, but he felt that Huamin wasn't as gentle as before and was a little aggressive. I've said everything I need to say. You decide whether you want to live or die. I'll say it again, if you want to die, no one can stop you. But, please don't drag me into this. After speaking, Huamin stood up and walked out. Mian, Huasiqian's call made Huamin stop in his tracks. From this angle, he could see Huamin's side profile. As usual, she was dressed in a low-key manner. She wore a simple white shirt with 2 pearls on the collar and a ruffled sleeve. Underneath, he wore a pair of very light-colored jeans with some simple paint. She was always dressed in simple clothes, but it was the most comfortable to look at. Under the white shirt was Huamin's bulging belly, which was pregnant with her and Qinchu's second baby. Min, will you come to see me again? Huasiqian looked at her side profile in a daze. Huamin hesitated for a moment but didn't say anything. He opened the door and left. Then, Huasiqian was taken away by 2 prison guards and locked up. Huamin and Gao Ran slowly walked out of the prison in the suburbs. Your performance today surprised me, Gao Ran said. I was very aggressive, like I ate gunpowder, right? Huamin smiled. Yeah, a little. Huasiqian's intention was obvious. He didn't want to die, he just wanted to make things difficult for me. He knew I wouldn't kill him, so he kept provoking me with words. He wanted to brainwash me and make me emotional. He might even kill the baby. But I'm not an idiot, so you had a sharp conversation with him. Not only did you not let him get his way, but you also took the opportunity to brainwash him and make him confused. Something like that. Huasiqian is very smart. We can't underestimate him, Huamin reminded. I know. Chu said before that Huasiqian is very complicated. Just from what he's done over the years, you can tell how vicious and meticulous he is. We won't let our guard down. We'll keep an eye on him and don't let him find a chance to kill himself. Don't worry. He won't die, Huamin said with certainty. You seem to be very sure of that. But he really hasn't eaten or drunk for a long time. He did that for me. He knew I would come. Then he's really a scheming man? Gao Ran sighed. Gao Ran didn't think too much about Huasiqian's nature, so he didn't know much about him. Anyway, Huasiqian won't kill himself. He'll probably wait for himself to be rescued. Save them? Are you talking about the foreign forces? Something like that. I have a feeling that Huasiqian's other personality is about to wake up. That murderer? Gao Ran was very wary of Huasiqian's second personality. Every time that guy came out, he would cause a storm of blood. It wasn't a good thing. To be more precise, Jack was much more difficult to deal with than Huasiqian. Yeah. Tell your people to be careful. After coming back from prison, Huamin felt a bit depressed. She thought it would be better to kill Huasiqian now. The longer they delayed, the more trouble they might cause in the future. So, she planned to discuss it with Mr. Qin at night and see what he thought. At the water world, after playing for a while, the twins and Lu Yen sat down on a bench to rest. And you really transferred 10 million yuan to us? Little Bean's eyes almost fell out when she received the message from the bank. Chapter 3351. Yeah. Lu Yen nodded. Is it in yuan? Do you think it's in yen? Lu Yen couldn't help but laugh. Oh my god, I love you so much. Little Bean had never seen such a huge amount of money. In the morning, when she heard that her auntie had given her sister a gift, she thought it was 100,000 yuan, so she began to compete for her sister's favor. If she knew it was 10 million yuan, she wouldn't have dared to ask for it. When she got home, her mom would teach her a lesson. And it's too much. I don't dare to ask for it. Mom will scold me. Little Bean felt guilty. Don't worry, little bean. Although your account is in your name, you don't have the right to use it freely. Anyway, Mom will manage it for you. You can use it freely when you're 18. Don't worry. Damn it. You're right. I got happy too early. Hearing her sister's words, Little Bean immediately understood. That's not right. How can you use it freely? Because I have the stock market. I can manipulate the market at any time. I don't withdraw cash. Humph. I despise you, the sisters began to bicker again. Lu Yen drank juice on the side and found it very interesting. Come on, and let's take photos. No, I don't look good on camera. You two take photos. Lu Yen rarely took photos because she was afraid that her news would leak and her enemies would hunt her down. Hey, since everyone is so happy, why don't I ask Handsome Sue to come? Little Bean said as she took selfies. No, Lu Yen refused without hesitation. Why not? 'Cause I don't know Sue you well. It's so awkward to play in the water with strangers. It's okay. You'll get used to it later. No. I can't relax with someone else here. Lu Yen refused firmly. Little Bean, don't make trouble. Aren't the three of us fine? Auntie said she would take us to eat Japanese food later. Okay. Then I'll video call Handsome Sue, okay? Finally, Little Bean had no choice but to video call Suyu. However, after a few words, Suyu hung up, and Little Bean never mentioned it again. In fact, Lu Yen didn't dislike Suyu, but she felt guilty after reading Xiao Fei's message. Previously, when they were drinking at the nightclub, they were already jealous enough to compete with others in drinking. If Psycho Xiao found out that she was hanging out with Suyu in a swimsuit while playing in the water, wouldn't Psycho Xiao bombard her with a rocket launcher? There should be a limit. Besides, she was the one who came up with the plan. When Xiao Fei heard that they were going to separate, he strongly disagreed. She had coaxed and pestered Xiao Fei with her beauty. That brat had taken advantage of her many times before she finally convinced Xiao Fei. It was also to lure out the big fish behind Xiao, and now that he was courting death here, wouldn't Psycho Xiao be very pitiful? Auntie, what are you thinking? Can't you hear me? Little Bean yelled. But I was distracted. Ha, baby, what's the matter? Can you get me a towel? I'm so cold. No, I can't leave you guys. You guys must follow me closely. There were a lot of people here, so Lu Yen didn't dare to let her guard down. The twins had been kidnapped twice before. But, Auntie, you're pretty, so whatever you say is right. Little Bean looked helpless. On the other side, Suyu was signing some documents in his office. His phone beeped with a WeChat notification. Hey, Mr. Su, did you miss me? Chapter 3352. Humph. Suyu sneered proudly. You're heartless. I prepared so much delicious food for you in the fridge. Xingro sent him a voice message. I didn't eat it. And ate it all. Suyu refused to admit it, making him the scapegoat. Then swear that if you eat one bite you'll be a puppy. No, you'll be a husky. You're a fucking husky. Suyu retorted in exasperation. Ha. What do you think? You can't take it anymore, right? I knew you'd eat it. How was your trip? If you don't have enough money, you can give me money. Right, Rich Lord Su? Xingro joked. Of course not. I don't have money, stingy. It's fun here, but it's a bit hot. Yeah, it's fun. Then, when can I go back? Xingro wanted to say that she didn't want to continue the trip, but she was afraid that Suyu wouldn't let her go back, which would make things awkward for them. In fact, Suyu didn't think too much about it. After all, Xingro didn't take all her luggage with her when she left. He didn't want to use this opportunity to drive Xingro out at all. After all, he wasn't the type to burn bridges after crossing them. You can come back when you're done. Suyu didn't think too much about it. Really? Is the public opinion over? Xingro asked cautiously. You mean Yelingxian? Yeah. Xingro nodded. That's long gone. It's the era of new media now. Let's not talk about this small matter. Even if a male celebrity had an affair, it would only be on Weibo's trending list for 2 days before it would disappear. What we have is not real to begin with, and no one would be so bored as to harp on it. If you're done playing, you can come back anytime. I'll go back in a few days. Zheng Rou's heart warmed when she heard Su Yu say that she could come back at any time when she was done playing. It seemed that he didn't want to use this opportunity to drive her out. I'll get back to work. Then they ended their WeChat conversation. In Singapore, Zheng Rou was in a luxury shopping mall. She looked at a fashionable men's white shirt and said, "Please wrap this up." "Yes, Mississippi." The waiter quickly packed it for her. Evening. Su Yu was driving home in his Lamborghini after work when he received a call from Xianxia. "Lord Su, come out and have a drink." "Sure, where is it?" "Imperial Duke." "Okay, we'll be there soon." After the relationship between Su Yu and Xianxia eased, the two of them gradually returned to how they used to be. Tang Chuan used to organize drinking parties. A few days ago, he saw Qin Ning posting pictures of her friends from America. In a fit of anger, he booked a flight to Los Angeles in the middle of the night. Wei Liao was an introverted person and rarely took the initiative to host a drinking party. Su Yu was also busy, so they never got together. Today, Xianxia had brought it up, and Su Yu happened to be free, so he hurried over. When she arrived, she realized that there were many rich second-generation young masters in the circle in the private room. Some of them had brought along their female companions. Seeing Su Yu come in, they stood up to greet him. "Lord Su." "Young Master Su, you're here." Su Yu nodded and walked toward Xianxia. "What's the occasion today?" "It's not your birthday." Su Yu was puzzled. "Then why did you organize such a party?" Su Yu was puzzled. "You'll know in a minute," Xianxia said. "What's going on? Why are you being so mysterious?" Su Yu knew this guy was up to something. At this moment, the door of the private room was opened again. When Wei Liao appeared with Wei Ying, Su Yu was slightly surprised. Chapter 3353. The moment Wei Mingxi and Wei Mingxi walked in, the whole room fell silent. Everyone else was dumbfounded. Wei Liao's expression showed that he didn't know there were so many people in the room. Wei Ying was wearing a simple yellow gown with lace edges. Her back was exposed in a V shape, making her look petite and cute. Wei Liao is here too. Su Yu felt like something wasn't right. Xianxia stood up first. "Second brother Wei." "So, I don't think I'm related to the Shen family." "Why are you calling me brother?" Wei Liao didn't give him face. "In the past, Ying and you said it was in the past. Why are you bringing it up now? Are you trying to scam me?" "No. I invited you here today because I want to do something I've always wanted to do." Xianxia then took the microphone from his assistant. In front of the whole room, he glanced at Wei Liao and then at Wei Ying. Then he said, "What I've done in the past is indeed heinous. I've brought great harm to the Wei family and little Ying. I'd like to apologize first." "No need to apologize. Mr. Shen, please get to the point. We're all busy." Wei Liao didn't want to listen to his emotional speech. "I admit what I did, but everyone makes mistakes. I don't want to miss out on the future because of my mistakes. Second brother Wei, allow me to say something shameless, but I still like little Ying in my heart. What you said is indeed shameless." Wei Liao looked at him coldly. "Big brother." Wei Ying secretly tugged at her brother's sleeve, feeling his tone was too harsh. "There's nothing wrong with love. What's wrong is that I didn't know how to cherish it. Second brother Wei, Ying isn't married and I haven't remarried. I hope she and the Wei family can give me another chance. In your dreams, I know this request is very rude, so I've thought about it for a long time. Today, I've specially invited so many people to be witnesses, especially Lord Su. Please supervise me. If I hurt little Ying in the future, I'm willing to accept any punishment. You won't hurt little Ying anymore, because you won't have the chance. We won't give you the chance." Second brother Wei, I really like Ying. Xianxia, a good man doesn't turn back. We won't pursue what happened between you and Xiao Ying, but we won't forgive you either. However, that doesn't mean that we've forgotten what you did with Hui Yanyan back then. I'm sure you know that broken mirrors can't be repaired. If you're doing this because of the Shen family's recent crisis, I advise you to give up. The Wei family won't help you. Don't even think about using my sister. It's not like that. I'm not using you. I'm sincere. Shen Mingxi then took out a small brocade box from his trousers pocket. Inside was a Cartier diamond ring. I'm sorry. If you're willing, please give me one last chance. This time, I won't lose you again. With that, Shen Mingxi got down on one knee in front of everyone. He raised the ring with both hands in front of Wei Ying. Wei Ying looked shocked. Shen Mingxi was a low-key and introverted man, so he shouldn't have done something like this. It was obvious how cruel he was. Su Yu was caught off guard and felt it was too sudden. Chapter 3354. You're good at acting. Wei Liao sneered slightly. Big brother, Ying, ask for the ring first. Our Wei family can afford it. If you accept the ring today, you'll never have a brother like me again. Maybe Wei Liao was afraid his sister wouldn't make up her mind, so he made a big move. Hey old Wei. Su Yu couldn't stand it anymore. Even if she didn't accept the ring in front of so many people, she should be tactful. Don't embarrass Shen Mingxi like this. After all, he's still a big shot. But Wei Liao seemed to have made up his mind. Lord Su, don't get involved in this. It's our family business. Hearing Wei Liao's words, Su Yu didn't say anything else. He turned his head and sat back down. Second brother. It was all my fault in the past. You can hit me or scold me, I have no complaints. But please give me another chance. I really don't want to miss Ying. We were both immature in the past and made a lot of mistakes when we were young. Now, with the passage of time, what's left is the real person. Big brother. Big brother Mingxi really knows his mistakes. I think. Shut up. Wei Liao was infuriated by Wei Ying's lack of willpower. Have you forgotten what happened in the past? You've forgotten the pain after the scar healed, right? No, big brother. I just think, I was wrong back then. Other men wouldn't be able to accept what I did. Now that Wei Ying was sober, she had done a lot of reflection. Shen Mingxi was wrong to cheat on Hui Yanyan, but she was also responsible for it. If she were a sensible girl, Shen Mingxi wouldn't have fallen into Hui Yanyan's trap. Most importantly, they still had each other in their hearts. The Shen family and the Wei family used to be good friends. Wei Ying had had a crush on Shen Mingxi since she was 15. After all these years, her feelings for Shen Mingxi still hadn't changed. Don't make excuses for a jerk. You're my sister, the princess of the Wei family. Our family is rich and powerful, and you have a lot of education and beauty. You have a lot of choices. Why are you fixated on him? Brother in my heart, Xiaoying, come with me. Seeing that his sister was going to continue, Wei Liao immediately grabbed her hand and was about to leave. Big brother, I haven't finished yet. Before Wei Ying could finish her sentence, Wei Liao violently dragged her away. Shen Mingxi knelt on one knee and awkwardly held up the ring. The scene was very awkward. Ahem. Brother Shen, you can get up now. Su Yu was the first to speak. Seeing that Wei Ying wasn't going to come back, Shen Mingxi looked disappointed. He stood up slowly, put away the ring, and went back to his seat in a daze. You acted rashly. Why didn't you discuss it with me? Su Yu asked him in a low voice. I wanted to give Xiaoying a surprise and give her an explanation. Then why didn't you ask Wei Ying to come? Why did you ask old Wei to come? Su Yu thought that if Wei Liao hadn't been there, things would have worked out. I hope you can forgive me. Shen Mingxi lowered his head and said, Damn it. You don't know how much he hates you. Even if he forgives you, it'll take a long time. You did it so suddenly. How can he forgive you? You acted rashly. But don't be discouraged. I can see that Wei Ying still likes you. If you really want to get back with her, you have to think about it carefully. After drinking for a while, Shen Mingxi went back to his house alone. Sitting in the living room, he picked up the phone and dialed an international number. Put Tian Tian on the phone, he said to the nanny on the other end. Chapter 3355. Miss Tiantin is asleep, the nanny said. So early. Shen Mingxi glanced at his watch. He didn't come home too late today. Shouldn't Tian Tian be asleep at this time? It's true. She said she's not feeling well. Not feeling well? Is she sick? Did she see a doctor? Shen Mingxi asked with concern. Don't worry, sir. Miss Tian Tian doesn't have a fever. She's just tired. She has a lot of classes and is new here, so she's not used to the language yet. Okay, let me know if you need anything. Okay, sir. In Singapore, after hanging up, the nanny said in a low voice, Miss Tunan, sir cares about you so much. I think you should answer his call. You think? What makes you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're just a nanny. All you need to do is take care of my daily needs. Why do you care about my private life? Tian Tian looked angry. That's not what I meant. I just think sir really cares about you. He cares about me? If he really cares about me, he wouldn't listen to that bitch Wei Ying's slanderous words and send me to this damned place. Seeing this, the nanny didn't dare to say more. This little girl had a bad temper and would throw tantrums at the slightest thing. The nanny served her carefully for the sake of a high-paying job. This child's identity was strange. She was only a few years old and came here alone without her parents. She didn't know much about the language at school and didn't talk to anyone. She didn't even talk to the Chinese teacher and had no friends. When Wei Ying got home, she quarreled with her brother and locked herself in her room. She secretly sent a WeChat message to Shen Mingxi. Wei Ying, big brother Mingxi, I'm really sorry about what happened. My brother got a little emotional. Shen Mingxi, I understand. Wei Ying, I'm really sorry that my brother treated you like that in front of so many people. Shen Mingxi, it's okay. I expected it. Wei Ying, big brother Mingxi, then you should go to bed. Wei Ying wanted to say more, but seeing Shen Mingxi's low spirits, she didn't dare to say more. Everything that happened tonight seemed to happen too fast. This time, Shen Mingxi was humiliated in front of so many people. The next day, as expected, the news spread. Even Tang Chuan, who was in the United States, called Su Yu to ask about it. Damn, second-hand women are so valuable? But you're right. Anyway, to Shen Mingxi, Wei Ying is his subordinate. After all, she used to work for him, Tang Chuan said exaggeratedly. You don't have to care about others. Just take care of your own matters. My business is very clear. I want to marry Qi Ning and have children. Tang Chuan smiled proudly. Don't be so smug. Who wants to have babies with you? Qi Ning kicked him in the butt. After hanging up, Su Yu was about to drive to the company when he received Zheng Rou's call. Eldest Miss Zheng, what instructions do you have? Su. Mr. Su, hello, I'm Zheng Rou's good friend, Zhang Qian. Su Yu was dumbfounded. Last night, when Ruru came back from shopping, she was hit by a car and is now in the hospital. What? A car accident? Su Yu froze. But don't worry, it's not serious. Her left leg is injured and she can't move freely. In this case, we're not in the mood to play anymore. Can you come and pick her up? To Singapore? Su Yu suddenly realized what Zheng Rou's best friend meant. It's not convenient for a woman like me to push her onto and off the plane. Okay, I'll arrange it. Send me the address of the hospital. Hey, Mr. Su. Putting down the phone, Su Yu glanced at and book a ticket to Singapore immediately. And looked incredulous. Take Zheng Rou back. She was in a car accident. Su Yu frowned slightly. And was even more baffled. Chapter 3356. What are you waiting for? Go and book the tickets. But what about our family? What's there for you to worry about? Su Yu looked at Dr. Hua's sister. You're still thinking about his sister at a time like this? Su Yu burst into laughter. No, I didn't mean that. After all, I was with her before. Now that I'm gone, who's going to stay with her? And blushed. Don't worry. You go and pick up Zheng Rou. I'll stay with Sister Mian, okay? Su Yu teased making him blush. Zheng Rou's car accident was sudden, but it wasn't a big deal. Hearing that she only hurt her foot, Su Yu sent him to her. There were two reasons. First, Singapore was far away. After all, it would take a lot of time to go back and forth. There was still a lot of work to be done in the company. Second, since Zheng Rou was fine and shouldn't go. He didn't want Zheng Ro to misunderstand that he was interested in her. So, Suyu thought An was the best choice. But to his surprise, An didn't want to go. It seemed he was still thinking about Mion's sister. Suyu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. During the weekend, Lu Yen played with the twins like crazy and took Pudding and Little Bean out every day. Huamin, on the other hand, was worried about Huasiqian. On the evening of the weekend, Huamin and Qin Chu took a walk around the fountain square in the yard of South Hill Manor. Do you have something to tell me? You can tell. Huamin chuckled. I know you too well. You looked uneasy at dinner. Yeah. I do have something to tell you. Go ahead. Qin Chu held Huamin's hand. Whenever they talked business, they were like friends, analyzing and discussing everything. It seemed that they rarely quarreled because of differences in opinion. The problem was that both of them were smart people and had the same view on many things. I went to see Huasiqian the other day. Yeah. Then, after I came back, I felt that it wasn't right to keep him like this. Of course, I didn't say that because I pitied him. I just felt that his willpower was very weak, and his desire to live was very low. The prison also said that he was mentally weak, so Gao Ran and I went to take a look. Go on. Qin Chu's face was calm as he held Huamion's hand and walked forward. I think that if he continues like this, it's fine if he dies. If he doesn't die and his second personality, which is Jack, appears, the consequences will be terrifying. You're worried he'll break out of prison? Qin Chu looked at Huamin. After all, you and Gao Ran personally deployed the prison. He won't break out of prison. After all, life isn't a movie. I just think, if the foreign forces, no matter if it's Ian or Nalo, intervene, Huasiqian, or Jack, is likely to escape successfully. He knows us too well. It's too dangerous for us. Those people are hard to deal with. If he escapes and comes after us, we'll be in trouble. Although Huasiqian is a psycho, he still has a trace of conscience. After all, he never killed me. But Jack is different. He's another person. So, I understand, honey. Yeah. That's good. Let me think about it. Think about it. If you think it's feasible, you should give him a quick death, Huamin said. Okay. You don't think I pity Huasiqian, do you? Seeing Qin Chu so calm, Huamin was worried that her husband would overthink. Chapter 3357. It's natural for you to feel sorry for her. You're a doctor and have a kind heart. Aren't I the Virgin Mary bitch that people talk about? Huamin couldn't help but chuckle. People who call others bitches are really vicious? How can you believe all the nonsense on the internet? Qin Chu flicked her head lovingly. I'm just afraid that you'll misunderstand me, Huamin said coquettishly. Come on, your husband still has the ability to distinguish between good and bad. Okay, I'm relieved to hear that. Suddenly, Huamin remembered something and asked, Honey, did Yen have a fight with her boyfriend? Just tell me. I'm worried. She's been here for a long time and hasn't mentioned Xiao Fei. I think he's a good guy. Huamin believed that he didn't misjudge Xiao Fei, even though he had only seen him a few times. But that child was absolutely sincere towards Yen. I'm not sure if they had a fight or not. Lu Yen has always been mysterious. I think they're on a mission. A mission? Huamin murmured to himself. You don't have to worry about Lu Yen. With her personality, even if the Earth is destroyed, she'll still get on a spaceship and fly into space, Qin Chu commented seriously. Honey, you're bad-mouthing my sister again. Huamin couldn't stop laughing. The couple chatted about life as they walked after dinner. Huamin liked this kind of peaceful life. Maybe it was because he had gone through so much in the past few years that everything he had today didn't come easy. In the twins' room, Lu Yen and the twins each had a cell phone and were playing games. After winning a few rounds, Lu Yen put down her cell phone. Babies, let Auntie rest for a while, okay? Okay, Auntie. I'll get you a popsicle. Thank you, Little Bean. With that, Little Bean rushed downstairs in a hurry. Auntie, don't be touched by her. She's just using you as a cover. My mommy won't allow her to eat popsicles before going to bed. So that's how it is. This kid is so cunning. Lu Yen chuckled. Auntie, how long are you going to stay? Pudding suddenly asked. Why are you asking this? I just don't feel safe. Auntie comes and goes mysteriously, unlike Auntie. Auntie always keeps in touch with us when she goes back to the States, but if Auntie leaves, even Mommy rarely gets in touch with her. So, I really don't want you to leave, Pudding said sadly. After all, children's feelings were fragile. Pudding and Little Bean spent all their time with Lu Yen. He liked her very much. She spoiled the child to the extreme. It was said that grandparents doted on children the most. But in this family, no one was as spoiled as Lu Yen. As long as the twins had a request, there was nothing that she couldn't fulfill. Pudding and Little Bean loved this mysterious auntie very much. Therefore, before Lu Yen left, Pudding tried to persuade her to stay. You're making me feel sad. Auntie, where do you live? When Little Bean and I are on vacation, can we go there for the winter vacation? Pudding suddenly had an idea. They only knew that their auntie lived in the States, so they had a lot of fun there. Then, they heard from their mommy that their auntie also lived abroad, so Pudding offered to visit. Even someone as smart as Lu Yen couldn't answer the question. Auntie, you don't want us to go? Pudding pouted at her auntie's perfunctory attitude, feeling wronged. Chapter 3358. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. Looking at her niece's sad eyes, Lu Yen felt like breaking down. It wasn't that she didn't want to, but the truth was that her identity was too special. She hadn't gone back to her old home for a long time and had been traveling around the world. Lu Yan's home was on a secluded island in the South Pacific Ocean. The island was equipped with advanced anti-surveillance equipment. No aircraft or ships would be able to detect it. The security on the island was also very tight, ready to fight at any time. In fact, the island was quite safe, but she had too many enemies and it was hard to say if she could go back to her old home with the two kids. Even her dad didn't want her to stay in China for too long and have contact with the twins. If she took the kids on a vacation, her dad would scold her to death. Her sister wouldn't agree, would she? Besides, she wasn't sure about it. Pudding's sudden question made Lu Yen feel very conflicted. Pudding, you're so smart. I'll explain it to you briefly. Go ahead, Auntie. Pudding could tell her auntie had something to hide. Auntie, you have a lot of money, right? Yes. Where did you get your money? I earned it, Pudding answered without hesitation. Lu Yen, no. I mean, think about it. How did I earn my money? Lu Yen asked. Pudding was stumped. Indeed, she only knew her auntie was very, very rich, but she didn't know what her auntie did for a living. This wasn't something a 3-year-old child could understand. Auntie must have a big business like my dad. She has a company and a corporation. Pudding thought her auntie must have a big corporation if she could transfer 10 million yuan to her at once. You're right. I'm a businessman, a big businessman. But this business is special. So, I've had a lot of enemies over the years. Those bad guys always want to catch me. So, I've been running away. I haven't been back in a long time, so I'm afraid it's not safe for you and Little Bean to go back. Oh, I see. Pudding seemed to understand. At this time, Little Bean came back with a few fridges. Hurry up and eat. 2 for each of us. Mommy wasn't in the house, so she didn't see me take them. God is helping me. Little Bean was still immersed in the joy of stealing a few more popsicles. Won't your stomach hurt from eating so much? Lu Yen looked at Little Bean worriedly. As long as it's food, it's fine. Don't worry. Pudding looked at Little Bean with disdain. You make it sound like I'll eat anything but dog shit. Little Bean was speechless. Aren't you? Pudding asked wittily. Qin Zhao Zhao, I don't want to quarrel with you tonight. Auntie is here, so don't be happy. Don't cause trouble, okay? Haha. Lu Yen laughed at the sisters' weird conversation. At this moment, Little Bean leaned against Lu Yan's shoulder. She was happily eating her popsicle while playing with her phone. Then, for some reason, he sent a video call to Suyu. After An left, Suyu was the only one left at home. He wanted to make something to eat, but he didn't know how to do it. There was a lot of food in the fridge, but he didn't want to eat it. Perhaps it was too lonely to eat alone. Just then Little Bean sent a video call. He immediately said excitedly, "Little Bean, I'll treat you to dinner." What's going on? Little Bean was also confused. I'm still hungry. There's no food at home. I'm starving. Suyu looked at the video and acted coquettishly with a child. That's easy. Come to my house. Little Bean took a bite of her popsicle. That's not a good idea. There are too many people at your house. Isn't your auntie at your house? Suyu said. Yeah, that's her. Little Bean immediately gave Lu Yen a close-up. Suyu was so embarrassed that he wanted to crawl into a hole. Chapter 3359. Hey! Lu Yen wasn't prepared to be exposed by her niece. She didn't expect her first meeting with Suyu to be like this. Hello, I'm Suyu. I'm Lu Yen. Then, there was a minute of silence. Hey, why aren't you two talking? Little Bean was the first to break the silence. I need to go to the washroom. You guys talk. Then Lu Yen ran away. She really didn't have anything to talk about with Suyu, especially in front of the two kids. It was so weird. Handsome Su, did you get a good look at my auntie? Suyu was telling the truth. He didn't dare to look at her seriously. That's easy. Sis, send auntie's photo to Handsome Su. Why? Pudding was confused. Let Handsome Su see how beautiful our auntie is. Little Bean said proudly. Pudding took out her photo album and sent it to Suyu's WeChat. Suyu opened it and nodded. Yeah, she's a beauty. So, do you have an idea? Little Bean asked with a smirk. I do. Suyu nodded again. Huh? That's even easier. Tell me your idea and I'll see how we can help you. Little Bean seemed very excited. My idea is that she's pretty and it's a pity she's not an actress. You two can ask her if she wants to sign with Imperial Star, Suyu said. Pudding, Little Bean, that's your idea? Little Bean was surprised. What else? Suyu looked innocent. I thought you were interested in my auntie. What? Why would I do that? Am I such a shallow person? I'm not a teddy bear. Suyu rolled his eyes at Little Bean through the phone. Then what are we talking about? Are you trying to set me up again? You're here again? Suyu finally understood the little fellow's thoughts. Are you kidding me, Handsome Su? You want to sign my auntie? You know she's super rich. You're scared of how fast she spends money. Even Imperial Star isn't enough to pay her, right? Are you serious? Suyu continued to play along. Of course it's true. Do you know that my aunt casually gave us 20 million yuan this morning? 20 million, is it Japanese yen or Korean one? Suyu continued to tease her. Don't joke around. It's RMB. Be serious. Little Bean was speechless when she saw Suyu's cheeky smile. Okay, I won't tease you anymore, but don't have any bad thoughts. Your mommy already said that your aunt is already taken. I have nothing to do with her. You even found out about this? Looks like you didn't have good intentions from the beginning. Little Bean finally caught the key point and turned the tables. Suyu, that's not the point. The point is that I haven't eaten yet. I'm so lonely at home alone. Can you two come out and have a midnight snack with me? Where's Uncle Lin? Pudding was curious. He's on a business trip. I sent him out. Looks like you're really bored. How about this? Come pick us up later. Pudding didn't want Suyu to have dinner alone. I'll decide what to eat, okay? Little Bean's eyes lit up. Can we not bring your auntie? Suyu thought it would be awkward if Lu Yen came. You're thinking too much. My auntie won't go with you. For the first time, Pudding dissed Suyu for thinking too highly of himself. Sis, I'll give you a thumbs up. Little Bean immediately gave her sister a thumbs up. So, what are we going to eat later? Suyu felt the twins would kill him if he continued to talk about this topic. Let's eat at Grandma Sue's place, okay? I miss her. Pudding thought for a moment and said seriously. Suyu and Little Bean immediately agreed. Half an hour later, Suyu drove to South Hill Manor to pick up the twins. On the other side, Huomin received an important notice from the province that night. She was worried after reading it. Mr. Qin. I have something to ask you. Please approve. Huamin stood at the door of the study like a bullied wife. Chapter 3360. I won't approve it. Why not? Huamin looked like she was about to cry. Because when Dr. Hua tells me something serious, it's usually not a good thing, so I won't approve it. You can't do this. Mr. Qin's mind was out of this world. Before Huamin could say what it was, he immediately analyzed and rejected it. Bite me if you don't like it. Qin Chu purposely tried to piss her off. No way. I'm afraid you'll get rabies. I should be the one saying that. Qin Chu put down his work and walked over. Honey, I'm not kidding. I really do have something to say. Huamin began to act coquettishly. What is it? I just received a notice from the province. Tomorrow, I'm going to Lin County for a small meeting. Lin County? That's more than 500 miles from here. Qin Chu's face darkened. But I'm not going alone. Many doctors from the hospital are going. I'm representing President Wu. You know that President Wu is flying all over the country to attend all kinds of meetings. He's working a lot harder than I am. As the deputy director, I don't want to be just a figurehead. I want to do something for Southside. So? Qin Chu raised his eyebrows and looked at Huamin. So you'll let me go, right? Huamin looked at him with a fawning expression. Ever since she got pregnant, Qin Chu became more and more strict with her. She couldn't even go shopping alone. She was protected like a panda. How long will you be gone for? Just one day. I'll be there on the same day. I'll have a meeting at night and come back the next day. One night? Qin Chu frowned again. It's just one night. Don't worry. So many people will be there. I'm going to take Jia with me. She's the best at taking care of me. Then, well, since you want to go, then go. Qin Chu finally approved Huamin's business trip application. Well, that's great. I love you, hubby. Huamin excitedly stood on her tiptoes and kissed Qin Chu on the cheek. But I want to go with you. Huamin was dumbfounded. It's such a long journey. I'm worried, Qin Chu said. But there are so many people from the hospital. Besides, I can also bring bodyguards. I don't feel at ease bringing bodyguards with me, so I'll go with you. That's it, it's decided. After that, Qin Chu turned back to his seat and continued to work on his laptop. Honey, you're so busy every day. There's a lot of work to do at the company. You really don't have to accompany me. Why don't you let Yen come with me? Huamin almost wanted to praise himself for his sudden inspiration. Huamin had always heard that Yen was very powerful, but he had never seen how powerful she was. Lu Yen had never killed anyone in front of her sister. Huamin thought he was just going on a business trip, and it was a short one. If she took her husband with her, would people gossip about her? The nurses in the hospital would definitely say she was being unreasonable. So, she thought of asking Lu Yen to go with her. She had thought her husband would gladly agree to this. However, to her surprise, Qin Chu's face darkened even more. No, Lu Yen can't go with you. Why not? Mian, do you trust me? Qin Chu looked up at Huamin and didn't answer her question directly. Of course. Then listen to me. I'll go with you. Seeing Qin Chu's insistence, Huamin didn't say anything else. Honey, I'm now under the protection of our whole family, right? Huamin asked with pursed lips before he left. Then if I kill the panda, I can become a national treasure, right? Huamin felt wronged. Chapter 3361. There's nothing wrong with that, Qin Chu answered. Okay. I'll do as you say. I'll go pack. Huamin turned around and left the study. She really thought it was a big deal to ask her husband to accompany her on a business trip. But Qin Chu knew how important it was. Huamin's identity had been exposed. Ian, Nalo, and even Xiaonan might have designs on Huamian. After all, compared to Lu Yen, she was just an ordinary person. She was easy to catch. So, Qin Chu didn't dare to let his guard down. As for why he didn't want Lu Yen to go, that was the perfect explanation. Lu Yen had too many enemies. She was constantly being watched and hunted down. Not only did he not feel safe with her, but it was also very dangerous. Lu Yan knew this as well, so she didn't hang out with Huamin all the time. Except for the day when she first came to Southside and spent a whole day with Huamin, Lu Yan didn't dare to follow her sister all the time. She didn't want to get into trouble. After all, in the past few days, the killers had changed again and again. For the past few days, Lu Yan and Huamin slept in the same room. Qin Chu had been in the study. Every night, Huamin would prepare incense. Qin Chu gradually slept longer than before. The effect wasn't very fast, but it was obvious. At least, his complexion was better than before. After finishing his work, Qin Chu called Gao Ran. "What? Want to drink with me?" Gao Ran chuckled. "Aren't you on duty today?" "How do you know?" Gao Ran chuckled. "I've already memorized your shift schedule backwards. I believe you. After all, you've loved me for years, just like how you love Huamin." "You're disgusting," Mr. Qin said in all seriousness. Old Gao I wanted to talk about? Huaxiqian. What happened to Huaxiqian? Mian and I discussed it and decided that we shouldn't keep him around. Didn't you say you wanted to use him to catch a big fish? From the looks of it, even without him, the big fish will come to us. So, he's not that valuable anymore. Mian is right. In order to avoid trouble, we should take action first. That's fine too. In any case, as long as he's alive, I won't feel at ease. I should have snapped him a long time ago. Gao Ren said. Then make the arrangements. Let's do it tonight. Tonight? And there's no time to lose. Clean it up, Qin Chu instructed. All right, I'll get someone to do it right away. After hanging up the phone, Qin Chu got up and lit a cigarette. He stood by the window and looked outside quietly. Huaxiqian had done so many bad things and deserved to die a long time ago. He didn't dare to kill her before because he didn't want her to feel bad. After all, no matter how evil this demon was, he was still very good to her and had never done anything to her. Now that Mian had asked him to kill Huaxiqian, Qin Chu didn't hesitate anymore. He decided to take the opportunity to get rid of him. As for Ian, since he already knew Mian's identity, he would definitely come to her. He would definitely come to her. Even if Huaxiqian didn't come, he would still come. Besides, Mian was right. One Huaxiqian was already a hidden danger. He also had to be careful of Jack. So, Qin Chu thought about it carefully for a few days and finally decided to kill Huaxiqian tonight. In the suburban prison, the higher-ups have given the order to secretly execute the criminal tonight, the warden said to his subordinates in a low voice. Do it now. Do it secretly. Chapter 3362. 1 hour later, Gao Ran drove to South Hill Manor in a hurry. It was late at night. Everyone else was asleep. In the study, Qin Chu and Gao Ran looked grim. Chu, we should have done it earlier. I didn't expect this guy to... Gao Ran blamed himself. It's my fault. I'm sorry that so many of your men got involved. What are you talking about? We've been buddies for so many years. How could I blame you? I just didn't expect him to. If he waited for us to kill him, he would be a coward. But now, he's behaving like this. Qin Chu was still calm. Although this matter made him a little unhappy, at least this was what he had expected. What should we do next? I've sent out a warrant for his arrest in the city. If he's found, he'll be killed without mercy. I've also sent out a warrant for his arrest and set up checkpoints. I don't think he can escape. While they were talking, Lu Yan knocked on the door and walked in. This is? Mian's younger sister, Lu Yan, Qin Chu said. Lu Yan nodded at Gao Ran and glanced at Qin Chu. Brother-in-law, did you just send people out to kill Huaxiqian? Yeah. Huaxiqian broke out of prison tonight and killed a lot of guards. His methods were brutal, Qin Chu said. That's bad. My men are in the city too. They just sent me a message saying that your men are all dead. What? Qin Chu couldn't stay calm anymore. No way. Huaxiqian is alone. He only has one gun and doesn't have many bullets. Chu's men are all elites. There are at least 15 of them. How can they all die? Gao Ran was puzzled. Huaxiqian was good at fighting, But Qin Chu's men weren't idiots. It didn't make sense for them to kill so many people in such a short time and evade the police. He must have transformed into Jack. Hua Xiqian's second personality is very powerful. Once he unleashes it, he's really good at fighting, Qin Chu analyzed. That's too crazy. Gao Ran was also a bit panicked. Just one Hua Xiqian was enough to make everyone panic. Plus, there had been no movement before. Tonight, when they were about to kill him, something happened. What a coincidence! I suspect there's a mole in the prison. He must have known that we were going to kill him, and that's why he escaped. Maybe he transformed long ago and we just didn't know. Qin Chu calmed down and said slowly. Gao Ran was shocked. Then he's really good at acting. When Mian and I went to find him that day, we didn't see anything strange about him after he transformed. Even Mian didn't seem to notice it. He only said some things to make Mian feel guilty and sad, but Mian seemed to see through his intentions. She wasn't brainwashed or misled by him. She even came back and told me that we couldn't let him live. Mian probably didn't see it either. Otherwise, she would have told me that day. What should we do now? Chu, shall we go and catch him ourselves? Gao Ran couldn't sit still. Chapter 3363 is more reliable than anyone else. Qin Chu chuckled. If Lu Yan did it, it was a sure thing. Qin Chu didn't want to use Lu Yan's power, but tonight's situation was special. If Hua Xiqian escaped, it would be troublesome. Lu Yan drove a red Porsche sports car in the garage of South Hill Manor. Then, she sped off according to the coordinates given by her subordinates. She didn't know where Hua Xiqian got a black SUV from, but she didn't know how many police officers he killed along the way. Wherever there was a checkpoint, he barged his way through, not intending to stop at all. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. But Hua Mian didn't seem to know any of this. She slept soundly in South Hill Manor. As the baby grew older, she felt more and more burdened. She often felt sleepy. In the night, Lu Yan only wore a black windbreaker. Her long hair fluttered in the wind, and she exuded a murderous aura. Lu Yan had wanted to skin Hua Xiqian alive for a long time. She couldn't forgive him for all the hurtful things he did to her sister. So tonight, when she found out that her brother-in-law's men were all killed, she decided to do it herself. After killing another group of police officers, Hua Xiqian didn't have many bullets left. But he saw on the map that they were about to leave the city. This was the last checkpoint. You want to kill me? Save it, you little kids. Hua Xiqian, or to be exact, Jack, said. With a murderous glint in his eyes, he stepped on the gas pedal and sped forward. Just as he was about to turn at the intersection, a red sports car suddenly appeared in front of him. Hua Xiqian reacted quickly and slammed on the brakes. The friction between the wheels and the ground reached the highest point, making an ear-piercing sound. Lu Yan sat in the driver's seat and shot at Hua Xiqian. With a loud bang, the windshield shattered. Even though Hua Xiqian dodged quickly, he was still scratched by the broken glass. This bullet. Hua Xiqian looked at the bullet in shock. Yes, this bullet was extraordinary. Its penetrative power was 10 times that of a normal bullet, and it was also explosive. That was why he was unable to escape. Hua Xiqian quickly opened the car door and prepared to abandon the car. Lu Yan got out of the car unhurriedly with the pistol in her hand and fired at the man hiding behind the car door. While Lu Yan was reloading, Hua Xiqian stood up and shot back. However, when he fired, he was surprised to find that his target had disappeared. Yes, the woman in the black windbreaker who was standing in front of the car just a moment ago had mysteriously disappeared. What the hell? Hua Xiqian looked left and right in panic, but he couldn't find the target. At this moment, a voice came from behind. Are you looking for me? He turned around abruptly and raised his gun, but Lu Yan dodged quickly. Then she looked at him and smiled. If I'm not wrong, you're out of bullets. Hua Xiqian heard this, and a drop of cold sweat slid down his forehead. Yes, he was out of bullets. He thought he could escape safely. After all, he had killed so many of Qin Chu's subordinates and police officers. Don't worry, I won't shoot you. I heard you're good at fighting. Come on, let's fight. If you can beat me, you can go. Lu Yen put away the pistol and pointed it at Huasiqian. No, Jack. She beckoned him with a seductive look in her eyes. He stood up slowly. He looked at Lu Yen in disbelief. Woman, do you keep your word? If I beat you, you'll let me go and promise not to use a gun? He was doubtful. Chapter 3364. I'm a man of my word. Come on. Lu Yen was ready to torture Huasiqian to death. Huasiqian rushed up with a punch, and each of his moves was ruthless, all for the sake of survival. At first, Lu Yen only dodged and didn't fight back, which consumed a lot of his energy. Just as Huasiqian was about to run out of energy, Lu Yen began to fight back. The seemingly weak girl punched Huasiqian so hard that he heard the sound of his ribs breaking. Enduring the pain, he rushed up, but before he could get close, Lu Yen kicked him away, breaking his left rib. At this moment, Lu Yen walked up and stepped on Huasiqian's wrist. People like you deserve to die 100 times. Lu Yen? Huasiqian finally realized who she was. He had been wondering why Qin Chu had such a fierce female assassin. Her skills were heaven-defying, and each of her moves was difficult. Clean and neat. Most of the time, Lu Yen would wear a thin human skin mask when she went out. It was handmade and looked very realistic. It could change into different people according to the shape of her face. That was why Huasiqian didn't recognize her at first. If he had known, he probably wouldn't have fought with her in close combat. In less than 5 minutes, Huasiqian had broken bones all over his body. He probably couldn't run far. You know I'm Lu Yen. Then, Lu Yen took off the thin mask on her face, revealing her face. It's you. Huasiqian spat out a mouthful of blood as realization dawned on him. Hello, Huasiqian. No, I should say Jack. Lu Yen stared at him coldly. So Qin Chu defeated me with the help of his sister-in-law. As soon as Jack finished speaking, Lu Yen reached out and grabbed his neck. Don't provoke me. You can't fool me with your little tricks. You've lived long enough, it's time for you to go to hell. Lu Yen grabbed Jack's neck with one hand and pulled out a dagger with the other, stabbing him in the stomach. The sudden pain made Jack groan. His expression was one of extreme pain. I'm sorry. I'm not as kind as my sister. I only want to stab you 20 or 30 times. Plus, you can't die in the process. Then Lu Yen stabbed him again. Her movements were fast. With Lu Yen choking his neck, he couldn't make a sound and could only endure the excruciating pain. Lu Yen was indeed cruel and merciless. She was only kind to her true love. To Hua of Huasiqian, Lu Yen, but Lu Yen was different. But Lu Yen wasn't like that. She could kill him as if he was a cow or a sheep. If Huamin finds out what you did to me, he'll hate you. Jack sneered with blood all over his face. You think too highly of yourself? You probably don't know that it was my sister's idea to kill you. She didn't have the heart to kill Huasiqian, but you are Jack. What's the difference? We're both in the same body. He sneered. You're about to die, but you're still talking nonsense. If you fell into my hands earlier, you would have been fed to the dogs. Then, Lu Yen stabbed him again. By now, Jack's breath was very weak. Lu Yen didn't show any mercy. He probably couldn't last 20 or 30 stabs. At this moment, the sound of a helicopter came from the dark night sky. Chapter 3365. The loud roar of the helicopter's engine was deafening. Lu Yen looked up and cursed inwardly. Oh no. Then he immediately turned around and ran. What followed was the sound of gunfire. Fortunately, it was Lu Yen who reacted quickly. If it were someone else, they would have been shot full of holes in an instant. Then, a few fully armed men in black got out of the helicopter. Some of them covered for Lu Yen while another chased after her with a gun. One of them took the opportunity to hook up the half-dead Jack and brought him onto the helicopter. Damn it. You want to run? Lu Yen was furious. She sent a signal and all her subordinates who were hiding nearby moved out. They aimed at the helicopter and fired wildly. However, those people seemed to be wearing special bulletproof vests and were fine even if they were hit. Boss, what's that? Are they aliens? Damn it. Aren't they afraid of guns? Lu Yan's subordinates were also dumbfounded. It's probably a new type of equipment, like super bulletproof vests, Lu Yan guessed. Anyway, those people successfully brought Jack onto the helicopter. Lu Yan was furious. She turned on her watch and aimed at the sky. Damn it. I'll give you a bullet first. Lu Yan hadn't fired yet. Then she heard her subordinate yell, "Boss, watch out." Then he saw something being thrown down from the sky. Lu Yan immediately ran with her subordinates. "Jump into the water. Hurry." Lu Yan roared. Fortunately, they were only a dozen meters away from the river. These people had undergone special training and were very skilled. Hearing Lu Yan's order, they all jumped into the river. Then, the homing bullet fell into the river as well. 5 seconds later, there was a loud bang, and the river water was blasted apart. Fortunately, after entering the water, the impact was not so great. If it exploded on the ground, Lu Yan and her subordinates would have been blown into meat paste. "Boss, are you okay?" After the explosion, Lu Yan's subordinates helped their boss out of the river. "I'm fine. Where's the helicopter?" "It's gone." "Fuck." Lu Yan kicked away the trash can beside her. She was about to kill the psycho Wuxia when someone came and used a helicopter and a missile. Who would have thought that in a place like China, other than the government, there would be people who would dare to use helicopters? "Boss, who are those people just now? Are they the officials here?" "No, definitely not. If I remember correctly, it's an SDT-50 made by an Israeli military factory a year ago. It said that there are only 2 of them. They're small, easy to carry, and highly explosive. Plus, they're able to evade detection by many countries." Lu Yan recalled carefully. If it's true, then it's even harder to investigate. It said that the missiles were bought by a mysterious buyer at a high price. No one knows the buyer's identity, and no one has used them for more than a year. Now, this is fucking weird. They used them on us. Don't they know who we are? Lu Yan's subordinates cursed. "No, they must know who I am. Maybe they're here for me. Otherwise, how could they appear just when I was about to kill Wuxia?" Lu Yan thought calmly. "Boss, is it Ian and Nalo? After all, they're the only ones who would risk their lives to save people. No, Ian and his men don't have such powerful equipment. Plus, China is heavily guarded. Ian and his men aren't strong enough to bring bombs into the country. Then, that's weird. Other than Ian and his men, who else would have such great abilities?" Everyone fell into deep thought. Lu Yan's face grew darker and darker. Suddenly, she blacked out and fainted on the ground. Bus. Chapter 3366. Lu Yan's sudden fainting stupefied her subordinates. They hurried her back to South Hill Manor. Only a few people could injure someone like Lu Yan and make her faint. Qin Chu was shocked as well. Huamin got up in the middle of the night to check on Lu Yan. "Young madam, how's our boss?" Lu Yan's subordinates were all anxious. "I've checked her. She doesn't seem to have any serious injuries. Honey, let's take Yan to South Side now. It's well equipped." Qin Chu nodded and immediately ordered his subordinates to take Lu Yan to South Side. After checking on Lu Yan, Huamin heaved a sigh of relief. Yan seems to have suffered a severe concussion. Her brain was affected and she's in a coma. But it's not a big deal. Hearing Huamin's words, everyone was relieved. "Honey, what happened?" Huamin looked at Qin Chu worriedly. "Yan went to kill Wuxia, who escaped from prison, but she was kidnapped halfway. Those people are very powerful. They have helicopters and homing missiles." "Really?" Huamin couldn't believe it. In this peaceful era, in this peaceful country, there were still people who dared to use military-style weapons. "How's the investigation going? Do you know who they are?" Qin Chu turned around and asked Gao Ran. As the director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau, Gao Ran couldn't have not heard about such a big thing happening in the city. Sure enough, Gao Ran received an order from his superior, but it was very vague. These people have very advanced weapons, and they don't have any records of entering or leaving the country. Gao Ran was also puzzled. No records of entering or leaving the country. That means these people are from our country and not foreign mercenaries. It looks like they're not Ian, Nalo, or Xiaonan's people. President Qin, that's strange. We fought them before. They're definitely very strong. How can they be ordinary people? Lu Yan's subordinates denied. I'm not saying it's an ordinary person. It's just that we can't find any records of them entering or leaving the country. With such a large plane and missiles, if it were from a foreign country, wouldn't it have caused a panic long ago? Besides, with our country's current advanced military standards, how could we not notice an enemy invading our country? It's absolutely impossible. After listening to everyone's analysis, Huamin said slowly, so, the people who saved Wuxia are Chinese? Moreover, they must be very powerful. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to come and go as they please and even use something as destructive as missiles. You're right. That should be it. Qin Chu nodded in agreement with Huamin. Who in the country can save Wuxia? Could it be Mayor Yan and his daughter? Recalling Yan Ruoshi's infatuation with Wuxia, Gao Ran guessed that the people who intervened this time must be powerful and influential people. It can't be Mayor Yan. Mayor Yan doesn't have the power to do this. It's not something an ordinary person can do. Qin Chu shook his head in denial. The higher-ups said that in order not to cause panic among the citizens, they'll announce on the news tomorrow that there's a military drill, Gao Ran added. That's all we can say. We can't say that someone broke into the prison. Then, Qin Chu took off his jacket and put it on Huamin. Good boy. I'll take you back to rest. Someone will take care of Yan here. I'm fine, honey. No. You're pregnant. You can't be so willful. Qin Chu was worried that his wife would get up in the middle of the night and that Lu Yan would be injured. Everything happened so fast that it was beyond his expectations. After sending Huamin home, Qin Chu returned to South Side. In the ICU on the top floor, Lu Yan woke up as well. Boss, you're awake. Seeing Lu Yan wake up, her subordinates hurried over. I feel dizzy. Lu Yan raised her hand and touched her head gently. Chapter 3367. Boss, do you want some water? Boss, are you hungry? Boss, do you want to go to the washroom? Get out. Lu Yan glared at them and the whole room fell silent. What's wrong with you guys? Do you think I'm so weak? It's just a minor injury. I've almost died so many times and I'm fine. Why are you guys so nervous? We're just worried about you. Her subordinates looked aggrieved. What are you worried about? I have a long life ahead of me. Boss, should we tell young Master Qiao? Someone was worried. If anyone dares to tell him, I'll kill him immediately. Lu Yan made up her mind. But, it's my business. I make my own decisions. At this moment, Qin Chu knocked on the door and walked in. President Qin. Lu Yan's subordinates immediately greeted Qin Chu. You guys can leave now. I want to talk to your boss alone. Okay. After the subordinates left, Qin Chu walked over and glanced at Lu Yan. How's your injury? I'm fine. It's just a concussion. I was the first target of the missile and got hit when I jumped into the river, Lu Yan said casually. Your sister was so scared that she couldn't sleep well. She came to the hospital and struggled for a long time before she went back. Tell my sister not to worry. I'm a cockroach that can't be killed. I've gotten used to it. I've seen all kinds of storms. Even my old man isn't worried about me. That group of people, you fought with them? Yes. Lu Yan nodded. Are they strong? Very strong. I didn't even have time to react. They were so fast. Fortunately, I reacted fast enough. Otherwise, I'd be a corpse tonight. Recalling the scene, Lu Yan still had lingering fears. Do you know who they are? Not at all. Arm yourselves. Do they have any distinctive features? For example, tattoos or symbols? Qin Chu asked. Nothing at all. Besides, I was too far away from them, so I couldn't see them clearly. I didn't have much time, so I kept dodging their heavy firepower. Do you have anyone in mind? Have you guessed who did this? Qin Chu didn't know why these people were after him and Lu Yan. Or was it purely to save Wuxia? I can't guess, but it's definitely not Ian and Nalo. It's not Xiaonan either. Xiao Fei has always been in Moscow. If it's Xiaonan, he would definitely inform me in advance if there's such a big movement. I don't think Xiaonan has that ability either, Qin Chu said. Fuck, I'm so useless. The feeling of failing for the first time in my life is really not good. I should have shot that guy earlier so that he wouldn't have escaped. Lu Yen blamed herself. You don't have to blame yourself. That group of people appeared at such a perfect time. It's definitely not a coincidence. I suspect that someone has been monitoring you. Impossible. I have the best anti-surveillance ability. Who dares to spy on me? Lu Yen immediately denied it. Qin Chu didn't continue speaking, but he had a feeling that this incident wasn't as simple as it seemed. The people who intervened this time were definitely not ordinary people. It's okay. If he escaped so easily, he wouldn't be Huasiqian. I really want to see what kind of trouble he can cause, Qin Chu comforted Lu Yen, not wanting her to feel guilty. Brother-in-laws, it's the first time I've done something for you, and I've been slapped in the face. Don't be silly. We're family. It's lucky that you're not injured. Otherwise, your sister would kill me. Lu Yen was about to speak when her watch beeped. Chapter 3368. Seeing that Lu Yen had a phone call, Qin Chu left the room. Lu Yen looked at the blinking numbers on her watch. Although she wasn't familiar with the number, she knew who it was. After a moment of hesitation, she picked it up. Hello. Lu Yen pretended not to care and said hello. You're a woman who doesn't keep her promises? Hey. How am I untrustworthy? Psycho Qiao, explain it to me. Lu Yen was furious. You promised me that nothing would happen to you. Yeah, I didn't. Then you were chased by a missile and jumped into the river. What's this? A military exercise? Xiao Fei asked in a huff. It was an accident. Lu Yen felt guilty. Don't make excuses. I won't trust you anymore. So what do you want? Lu Yen rolled her eyes. Terminate the plan. I'll leave Russia to find you in a minute. No. We can't fail. Lu Yen immediately tried to stop him. Back then, we agreed to carry out your plan. You're doing fine in the country. I won't hold it against you for drinking with men. But you fought so many people and almost died in an explosion. What do you think about that? I'm fine, right? I'm lucky, Lu Yen explained with a smile. So you're lying in the hospital with a concussion. You're fine? Xiao Fei asked. Lu Yen didn't expect Xiao Fei to find out that she didn't have a video call with him and only turned on her voice chat. It was no wonder. Although Xiao Fei was usually quiet, his subordinates were not idiots. Their intelligence was top-notch. Xiao Fei found out about Lu Yen as soon as she was hospitalized. No wonder he was so angry. Xiao Fei, I'm really fine. Don't worry. Lu Yen tried to coax him gently. Isn't that obvious? Xiao Fei replied coldly. In fact, he was trying to say, how can I not worry? I don't know the identities of those people. They appeared so suddenly that I wasn't prepared for it. If I had another chance, I'd shoot them all with an AK-47. You're already in this state. Can you stop lying on the hospital bed and boasting? Is it fun? Xiao Fei's face darkened. Did Lu Yen have a heart as big as a pumpkin? He had just walked through the gates of hell, yet he was still able to talk nonsense with a straight face. Lord Xiao, you flatter me. Don't talk nonsense. Speak properly. By the way, how are things on your side? Did Xiaonan do anything while you were back? Lu Yen changed the subject. Of course, he started with AI me. Oh? So what did he do? I asked Amy to poison my coffee, and then? Lu Yen was curious about how Xiao Fei would deal with it. I swapped the coffee. AI me drank the poisoned one, but the poison hasn't acted up yet, so it should be slow acting. Brilliant, Lu Yen flattered. Don't give me that crap. Tell me, you've broken your promise. What should I do with you now? What did I break? Lu Yen asked, amused. You promised me that you wouldn't get hurt, but you're lying in the hospital. Lu Yen, how can I trust you? Xiao Fei was far away in Moscow, but he was very worried about Lu Yan's injury. Chapter 3369. Didn't you break your promise and call me? Lu Yan asked. Xiao Fei, don't tell me you've forgotten what I said before. In order to make our act more realistic, don't contact me in private. Previously, you could still contact our subordinates. Now, you're simply calling me directly. If others find out, won't all our previous efforts be wasted? So, Xiao Fei continued to ask. So you broke your promise once and I broke mine once. Or even. Lu Yan chuckled. Lu Yan, can you be any more shameless? Yes. If you want to see, I can be even more shameless. Sitting on the bed, Lu Yan looked at her watch and said with a smile. Xiao Fei didn't know what to do with her. Wait and see. Then Xiao Fei hung up. Obviously, he was pissed off by Lu Yan. Psycho Xiao must want to chop me into pieces right now. Lu Yan sang happily. On the other side, Xiao Fei's face was as cold as ice. Young Master Xiao, I've prepared some snacks for you. You've been sleeping late recently. Amy came in with exquisite snacks. No, Xiao Fei refused coldly. Amy was a bit surprised. She had thought she would have a big chance after she returned to Moscow with Xiao Fei. But she felt Xiao Fei was getting colder and colder to her and had returned to his previous state. In the past, because of Lu Yan, she felt Xiao Fei wouldn't even look at her. But now, without Lu Yan, Xiao Fei was still like this. The situation was not good. Young Master Xiao, you're not in a good mood today. Xiao Fei didn't speak. Did Amy do something wrong? If so, tell me and I'll change. I want to take good care of you. I'm willing to learn how to cook Russian food. I like Chinese food, Xiao Fei replied. Oh, that's easy. I know some Chinese food. Tell me what you want to eat. If I don't know how to cook, I can look it up on the internet. No need. Then, Xiao Fei went into his bedroom and closed the door with a bang. Xiao Fei liked Chinese food purely because of Lu Yan's influence. Lu Yan had traveled all over the world since she was a child, so she could eat almost anything. But Lu Yan loved Chinese food because there were many different cuisines, especially Sichuan cuisine. She loved spicy food. Xiao Fei lay on the bed gloomily, missing Lu Yan. But that little ancestor didn't stay in the hospital in the middle of the night. She jumped out of the window and even her subordinates didn't notice. Late at night on a busy street in Sea City, there was a barbecue stall with many people. Boss, 20 beef kebabs and a bottle of cold beer, thank you. Wearing a hospital gown, Lu Yan sat at a small table. Her yelling immediately attracted a lot of attention. Even though she was wearing a hospital gown, it still couldn't hide her outstanding appearance. The little girl was young, and her skin was tender and supple. Her long hair reached her waist, and coupled with this special hospital gown, it really gave people a different feeling. At the next table, a group of bare-chested, tattooed men kept looking over. Big bro, that chick is not bad. Uniform temptation? I like it. The man looked to be in his 40s. He had a fierce-looking face and a golden necklace as thick as a thumb hung around his neck. Their Toyota Prado was parked on the side of the road. There were 4 of them in total. They were all big and muscular and looked like typical hooligans. Shall we go and get her now? No. I'll go and get to know her first. Then, the leader stood up and walked over with a bottle of beer in his hand with a smile. Let's get to know each other. My name is Tao Kun. You can call me Big Brother Kun. The man smiled lewdly and looked up and down at the girl who looked like a college student. Hearing his words, Lu Yan didn't speak. Instead, she smiled sweetly and gently, which made the man's heart flutter. Chapter 3370. Girl, you look so pretty when you smile. I like girls like you, Big Brother Kun, right? Lu Yan smiled. Yeah. The man nodded with a smile. Do you want to be friends with me? Yeah. How about we be friends? You're done with just one sentence? Aren't you going to say something? Don't they say northern men are very generous? Lu Yan rested her chin on her hand and asked deliberately. No problem. Eat as much as you want. I'll pay for you. The man thought this was just a small barbecue restaurant. How much could this woman eat? It would be a few hundred yuan at most. Really? Can I? Lu Yen asked innocently. Of course. Big Brother Kun is a man of his word. He won't go back on his word. The man patted his chest and promised. Most importantly, he wanted to save face in front of this girl. He wanted to save face as a big brother of the society. Since you're so happy today, Big Brother Kun, why don't you pay for all the customers' bills? The man froze. Of course. Think about it. Being friends is a big deal. Shouldn't we celebrate? Yes, we should. The man nodded. So, isn't it normal for you to treat everyone to a meal? After all, Big Brother Kun looks like a rich man. You don't need this small amount of money, right? Of course not. The man shook his head. At this moment, Lu Yen stood up and yelled, "Friends, uncles, aunties, sisters, brothers, listen up. This big brother beside me is Big Brother Kun. He's very happy today and wants to treat everyone to a meal. Everyone eat whatever you want. He'll pay for everyone." Hearing Lu Yan's words, the crowd immediately applauded. "Thank you, Big Brother Kun. Thank you, kind person." Hearing Lu Yan's shout, everyone heard it. Big Brother Kun's expression changed. He wanted to go back on his word but didn't dare to say anything to embarrass himself. He could only force a smile. What's wrong with our big brother? Didn't he go over to get to know that girl? Why is he treating everyone to a meal? The subordinates at the table were confused. Maybe our big brother is really happy and wants to celebrate, another guessed. That's not right. Big brother is so generous to us. Why is he so surprised? Who knows? But since Big Brother said so himself, let's not bother about it. Oh my God, if all these people pay the bill, it will cost a lot of money, right? His subordinates were a little surprised and even a little worried. There were dozens of tables in this barbecue stall. Even if each table only cost 500 yuan, the total bill would be tens of thousands of yuan, right? What's more, paying the bill for an unrelated person, this really wasn't something an idiot would do. Why did he have to be such a sucker? Actually, Brother Kun didn't want to do it either, but he had no choice. If he wanted to woo the girl, he had to continue pretending to be fat with a common face. At this moment, Lu Yen seemed unsatisfied. He shouted to the people coming and going on the street, "Everyone is in luck today. Come and eat. Brother Kun will pay for all the barbecue here. He's in a good mood today. Let's eat and drink well." Hearing Lu Yan's shout, the residents who were taking a stroll on the street came over to join in the fun. There was even a group of square dancing ants who ran over and asked, "Miss, can we take it home to eat?" "Hey you guys." The man called Brother Kun was about to speak. Lu Yen immediately said with a smile, "Of course. Ants, don't be so polite. Brother Kun is in a good mood today and is doing good deeds for himself. You guys can do whatever you want." Chapter 3371. Hearing her words, the middle-aged women immediately rushed in and demanded takeout as if they were robbers. Hearing this, Kun felt his head hurt. "Big Brother Kun, are you upset?" "No." "Do you have enough money? If not, you can pay with your credit card." "Yes." The man gritted his teeth and said. Then, he once again looked at the beautiful little sister in front of him. "Girl, how old are you?" 19, Lu Yen said shamelessly. "You're so young. No wonder you look like a flower." The man swallowed. Lu Yen smiled and didn't speak. "What do you do for a living?" "I'm a college student at the Art Institute." Lu Yen lied with her eyes wide open. That's good. I like students at the Art Institute. You have good figures and good looks. Everything about you is good." Then, the man looked at Lu Yen and smiled wickedly. "Big Brother Kun, sit down." After escaping from the hospital, Lu Yen wanted to eat some meat skewers and drink some beer. She didn't expect to run into an idiot. She suddenly felt that tonight was no longer lonely. So, she talked to the man enthusiastically. She had just put him on the table and now offered to pay tens of thousands of yuan for everyone. The owner of the barbecue restaurant was very grateful to Lu Yen. He even brought her a plate of crayfish. Girl, thank you for making my business so good tonight. This plate of crayfish is my gift to you, the honest owner said with a smile. Lu Yen took the plate of crayfish and said, "What gift? Our big brother Kuan is rich and doesn't need your gift. Just put it on the tab." The owner was dumbfounded. The man called Big Brother Kuan wanted to cry. Lu Yen took a bite of the crayfish and stood up again. Seeing Lu Yen stand up, Big Brother Kuan's heart trembled. Sure enough, Lu Yen yelled, "Boss, your crayfish is delicious. Can you give each table a few plates?" "A few plates? I'm afraid we don't have that many." The owner was troubled. He didn't expect such a popular scene today. "That's okay. Give us as many as you can. Give us all the delicious and expensive food. Our big brother Kuan is rich and doesn't lack money," Lu Yen said. At this moment, the man couldn't take it anymore. He stopped Lu Yen. "Girl, let's keep a low profile." "Ha, I'm rich, but I don't want others to know that." "How can that be? You're such a good person, a tycoon. You should let everyone know you." At this moment, Lu Yen pointed at a couple who looked like they were a couple. "You two, quickly record a short video for Brother Kuan and post it on Weibo. Publicize what he did tonight. He's a good man. Yeah, he's a good person." The surrounding customers also praised him constantly. The young couple obediently took out their phones and started recording Brother Kuan. The man finally found himself in a difficult position. He also began to realize that this woman seemed to be doing it on purpose. "Look, I just wanted to treat you to dinner alone. Why did you bring so many people with you? What's the meaning of this?" The man looked at Lu Yen angrily. "Big brother, why are you asking me? Aren't you happy that we're friends? Well, you don't want to spend the money? If you don't want to spend it, just tell me and I'll pay for it." Lu Yen purposely raised her voice so that everyone around them could hear her. "I didn't mean that. I just feel." The man looked puzzled. He felt something was wrong but couldn't tell what it was. "Boss, pay the bill first. Big Brother Kuan said he'll only treat these people and won't treat anyone else. So, he wants you to pay the bill first." Lu Yen was afraid that the man would change his mind and refuse to pay because he had too much money. So, she used a trick to force him to pay the bill first. "Okay." The owner and his wife each took out a calculator and began to calculate the bill. The man called Big Brother Kuan wanted to refuse but couldn't find the words. Hundreds of pairs of eyes were looking at him. Chapter 3372. Tao Kuan felt wronged but couldn't say a single word. His only hope now was to woo this girl. This girl looked so beautiful and pure. If he could sleep with her, it would be worth tens of thousands of yuan. At this thought, the man felt better. "Sis, huh?" Lu Yen answered while eating crayfish happily. "Do you have a boyfriend?" Delighted, the man asked tentatively, "Have you ever been in love?" "My family is from the countryside and lives in the mountains. I came to the city to attend college. I don't dare to be in love. My dad told me to study hard." "Ha! You're a good girl. Who else do you have in your family?" "My sister, but she's married," Lu Yen said calmly. "That's good. Sis, why don't you be with me? You're poor, but I can give you money to spend. You can go to college and I'll support you. I'll give you pocket money, buy you pretty clothes, and give you the latest watch. What do you think?" "That's great." Lu Yen widened her eyes on purpose. Then he looked at the strange-looking watch on Lu Yen's wrist. It looked complicated and looked like a toy. Glancing at it in disdain, he pointed at the watch on his wrist. "Sis, people in the city don't wear toy watches. They're too childish and cheap." Lu Yen almost laughed out loud. This idiot was the first person to call her watch cheap. The watch on Lu Yan's wrist was made by the most famous military factory in the world. It was a tactical communications watch. Lu Yen bought 2 of them for tens of millions of yuan and modified them. She and her dad each wore one, and there were only 2 watches in the world. Her dad made all the modifications himself, and many people wanted it but couldn't get it. Someone once offered her hundreds of millions of yuan, but she didn't sell it. Now that the man in front of her said it was a toy watch, Lu Yen almost laughed out loud. Sis, look at the watch I'm wearing. It's the most famous brand in Switzerland, Rolex. Oh, it looks expensive, Lu Yen said while eating skewers. Of course. I bought it in Hong Kong last year. It cost more than 100,000 yuan, the man showed off. Well, you're really rich. Your watch costs more than 100,000 yuan. Lu Yen opened her mouth wide in surprise. So, don't doubt my ability. I'm definitely rich. It's not a problem for me to raise a female university student. How about it? He kept glancing at Lu Yen, trying to convince this girl from the countryside to bow down to his money. It's a good thing. But, if my dad finds out, he'll kill me. Lu Yen purposely put him in a difficult position. It's fine. I won't let your father know. Besides, your family is so poor. I'll give your father a sum of money when the time comes. Won't that be the end of it? Will you pay for my hospitalization? Lu Yen had been eating and was almost full. She wiped her hands and asked the man seriously. Hospitalized? Only then did he realize that the girl was wearing a hospital gown, not a uniform. Are you sick? The man asked. Yeah, can't you see that I'm wearing a hospital gown? Where did you get hospitalized? South Side. My classmates saw that I wasn't feeling well and sent me to the hospital. I heard it's quite expensive there. I was worried about the medical expenses. If you can pay for it, I'll go with you. Really? No problem. Tell me how much it'll cost and I'll pay for it. Seeing Lu Yen agree, the man was overjoyed. I don't know yet. The doctor said he'll keep me under observation. What's wrong with you? The man asked casually. He said I'm HIV positive and I'm a virus carrier. Lu Yen said vaguely. What kind of nonsense is this? What positive? What virus? The man was also confused. Big brother, don't people in the city use their cell phones to check? You can do it and you'll know, Lu Yen said deliberately. Chapter 3373. At this moment, the owner walked over. Sir, you booked the whole restaurant for 61,000 yuan. I'll charge you 60,000 yuan. 60,000 yuan? What did you eat? Why is it so damn expensive? The man was irritated. I ordered crayfish. Almost all of my stock was eaten. Look at the list if you don't believe me. The owner looked aggrieved. But I won't look. At this moment, the man called out to his subordinate at the next table. Wei Zai, give me my bag. Okay, big brother. The man opened the bag and took out 6 bundles of cash. Here you are. Thank you, sir. The owner took the money and left happily. Big brother, this is the money we helped them get back. It's not ours. Can we spend it? Wei Zai reminded Tao Kuan in a low voice. It's not a big deal. I'll spend it first. The man had made up his mind. No matter what, he couldn't lose face tonight. So many people were watching and he had posted a video on Weibo. If he didn't pay, he would be laughed at. So, he spent the money that didn't belong to him. From their conversation, Lu Yen could tell what they were thinking. These hooligans were a group of scoundrels who helped people get back their money. They were the kind of people who borrowed money from loan companies and couldn't get it back. They would use all kinds of methods to get back their money, such as coercion, bribery, and even beating up the people who owed them money. Most of these people were the scumbags of society. Ordinary people didn't dare to mess with them. Sister, what disease did you just tell me? I'll check it for you. The man remembered what Lu Yen had said to him. I'm HIV positive, Lu Yen repeated in a low voice. Hearing her words, the man immediately took out his cell phone and searched it. He typed in the exact same words as Lu Yen had said. When the results came out, he was startled. It said that people who were HIV positive were carriers of the AIDS virus. The man looked at Lu Yen as if she were a ghost. What's wrong, big brother? Lu Yen pretended not to understand. Did the doctor in your hospital really tell you that you're HIV positive? Yeah. He said the virus has an incubation period. I don't know what's going on. Lu Yen continued to talk nonsense. This is AIDS. Oh my God. The man was so scared that he ran away. Big bro, big bro. The few underlings did not know what was going on. Seeing their big bro run away, they were confused as well. Lu Yen smiled faintly. There were a lot of idiots every year, but recently, there were a lot of them. How did such a person become the big brother? That was a question worth considering. After the meal, Lu Yen stood up to leave. The owner of the barbecue restaurant walked over and held Lu Yan's hand in a low voice. Miss, they're not good people. Don't stay with them. Leave quickly. I know. Tao Kuan is a bully in this area. He specializes in bullying honest people. In order to collect debts, he will do anything. A few days ago, he even broke the leg of someone who owed him money. Later, I heard that his superiors helped him settle it. This person is very bad. You let him spend so much money in my house. I'm worried that he won't let you go. It was obvious that the landlady was an honest person. That was why she said so much to Lu Yen after Tao Kuan left. Thank you, lady boss. I'll be careful. With a smile, Lu Yen left. The restaurant wasn't far from the hospital. Lu Yen planned to take a walk after the meal and then call for a taxi. About 10 minutes later, she was stopped by someone on a road that was less crowded. You guys again? What a coincidence. Lu Yen smiled. Little bitch, how dare you lie to me? I called the hospital and they said there's no such thing as AIDS. You made me spend so much money tonight and now you want to run away? If you don't come back with me tonight, I'll teach you a lesson. It seems you're not that stupid. Lu Yen smiled with a toothpick in her mouth. Cut the crap and come with me. You can use your body to pay for your debt. You can leave when I've had enough of you. After saying that, the man ordered his men, Go, tie her up and send her to my car. Isn't it good to live a good life? Lu Yen sighed faintly. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.